Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with Watercolor 101 episode 3. Today we're going to just come and play. I did do a little bit of an experiment before I turned the camera on, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the inspiration first. So I purchased this color box from Cara-Renee Clark a couple of months ago, and this is the first time I'm pulling it out and using it. And basically what it is it's a color palette. And I watched Denise Love over on YouTube, and she does these color palette challenges all the time where you're challenged to pick a specific color or get something as close to that color as possible and use it in the same piece. So you're going to have these colors are going to play well together, these blues, but these are going to be contrasting colors. So playing around with that is challenging, but it's also challenging, right? So we're going to have a play. We're not going to probably do it as elaborate as she did because I'm not very good at this, but we're going to play. That's all we're going to do. So I just want to preface this with saying we're playing. So in the previous video, we had swatched out this Kuretake Gonze paint. This was what I called the standard set. So these are your more traditional colors: red, rose madder deep, sap green, etc. But I also had purchased, even at that time, I had also purchased the Art Nouveau set. Look at these colors. Look at the beautiful pale colors of these. So we're going to be having a play with these as well. And that's what we're going to be using in today's video. So I played offline. Now I didn't really like this all that much because of the way that I did it. But I'm just playing. I'm just practicing. I didn't care for this. I came in with some Caran d'Ache water soluble oil pastels here and did these circles. And I just don't like the chalky, scratchy look, but I don't know. And then I did a little bit of stenciling with some gold embossing paste. Wasn't a fan of the stencil that I chose. We might try that again though with a different stencil. So I'm going to try and integrate all the colors again. I'm just going to do it a little bit differently. So hopefully I will feel a little bit better about it. So supplies, I have my water bucket. It's a split bucket so that you have a clean pot and a dirty pot. I pulled this Deco Art Americana Deep Midnight Blue paint. We're going to do some stenciling with that. I have a palette knife in case we decide to do some stenciling with the modeling paste. I have some iridescent gold watercolor paint from Daniel Smith. And I've got a Uniball Signal black and white pen to do some stuff hopefully with that. This is the swatched out color palette, so you can see it's pretty darn close when you look at that. Look at that. And that's not based on the Gansai Tambi paints. That's just traditional colors, so it's pretty darn cool. So I'm going to try to move this over a little bit so I can leave that card there. And I'm going to pull my paints out. And I just, again, want to preface, this is just play. I have no idea how this is going to go on camera. I was just playing on my own, so I don't know. I'm just going to kind of put those on the other side of the card. So now I'm looking for the orange. I used this Venetian orange, I believe it's called. It was pretty good match. And then we've got this, I believe this was a gray blue. Whoops, we just popped that out. I love this palette for this reason. The pens are really big, which is highly unusual for watercolor paint. But I also want to share that I realized after I did the swatching with these and recommended these paints that they are not as opaque, they are not as transparent as the watercolors that I'm used to. So I may have a learning curve and a struggle with that because I like super transparent watercolor and these are not as transparent. But I think for the purposes of what we're doing here, they're going to be perfect for play. So I'm going to set this aside because we don't need that right now. And I have this really large, it's called a Hake brush, and it was very inexpensive. I'll link it in the video description box. But it's got these really irregular, hairy hairs, hairy hairs, that give you a lot of interesting marks, because you just kind of roll the brush in the paint and then roll it on your surface. I watched Denise Love. I don't know if I mentioned this already. I'm so sorry if I did. But I'm really enjoying watching her play in this manner, using the color cube box, doing the color palette challenge, and then doing some stenciling and some mark making. So I've never done mark making, so we're going to learn together, and I hope that it will be enjoyable for you guys. So I picked a couple of stencils that I think I'm going to like better than what I did. I mean, I liked the circles, but I think I would do probably maybe a little bit less. I don't like that one. I tried that one on something else, didn't care for it, but I thought this one would be fun to try as well. So we'll see. We're not there yet. So so what she does, which I didn't do before, is she actually started out by doing some mark making with a water-soluble graphite pencil. So I'm going to reach and grab mine. I forgot to get it before I turned the camera on, so apologize for that. See if I can quickly find it here. Not sure where I stashed it. Give me just a quick second, guys. I cannot seem to find it at the moment, so I am not going to hold us up. We're going to again keep this pretty basic. So I do want to separate this into two parts so that we have two chances to like what we're doing here. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape here roughly in the middle, and I'm going to tape down the other sides. You can use any watercolor paper that you like. I'm actually using my Arches just because it was already in the drawer and already kind of a good size for this project. So I know some of you have purchased the Hippie Crafter paper, which would be perfect for this, because this is just play. It's not a masterpiece at this point. So I'm just marking that off because it creates this really beautiful frame. And I almost want to do some mark making, but I don't know what to mark making down on the base. So let me see if I have anything that would work here. I'm going to grab this and see what this does. This is a really fine marker. Look at how fine that is. I think that would be fun to play with. But I want to see if it's going to move with water, because I can't remember if it is one of those. Yeah, so see how it moves? So I don't think I want that today, because I'm not ready for that risk. But I wanted to try it, because you don't know until you try. So I do recommend that you keep a towel or something close by, because you're going to get pretty wet, because you're constantly going from water to paint to paper, water to paint to paper. And I like to wipe my brush off, rinse it off in here in the dirty water. Right now neither one of them's dirty, but they will be shortly, and then dry, wipe it off. So the thing about this brush is it will the hairs do come out. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first. So I'm just going to go in here, get my brush really wet, and then just get this sopping wet. Okay, really get a lot of paint on there. Okay, and I'm going to hold my brush like this, and I'm just going to play with moving that color around. I like that. Just dipping into that water to get this a little bit wetter. I'm going to go and do something similar on the other side. So I'm rolling the brush in my hand so that I get these really irregular shapes with the paint that I think is really cool and very not me. I'm getting a little bit more water, and I'm going to come up from this corner in similar fashion. Okay, and then we're going to go right in and get another color. Okay, so now we're going to go into the next color, which is the blue. This is the, sorry, turquoise blue light, I believe. And I'm just going to do the same. And this time I'm going to make some different marks. A little bit more, not as broad a movements. I'm just kind of, I guess broader movements, because I'm going down to the corner. And I'm going to kind of go up in this corner and get in some of here. I don't want to lose all my white space. I really like white space in most things. I'm going to get a little bit more water on there. What you want is these kind of scratchy lines, okay? That's really, really cool. Okay, let it go, Renee. Let it go. Perfect. Okay. The other thing that she does is she takes a credit card. I don't think I have one because I think it's in this drawer that's right in front of my desk. But let me see if I can reach one. I'm pushing everything. We'll push it all back. Boom. All better. So what she did is she went in, this is an old ID card, and she went in and she kind of went like this and created some lines, and that drags your paint around. Interesting. And she also went like this and just scraped it across. Getting some interesting, not much is moving there. So we need to go back in with the next color before it gets too dry though. So I'm going to get this, get some more water on my brush, and we're going to go in with this gray blue. Now this is not, I'm doing her techniques, but this is looking nothing like what she does, just so you know. Okay, I just want to see how this is all going to react together. Just kind of flipping it and flicking it. Getting some blue in here, blue-gray. Oh, I like those splatters. It's kind of cool. Need some in this middle. I think we need some more of the turquoise, though. We lost some of that. We'll go back in and get that. I'm going to hop over here to the other one, get some in here. We're not trying to, make a masterpiece here. So I am going to go and get a little bit more of the turquoise. I really want a little bit more of mixing there. A little bit of a brighter color. Got a hair on there. I'm going to try to get that off. You do have to be careful with watercolor paper because you can scratch your paper. Again, this is not what she does. She's way more, she's way more deliberate, but she's also more playful. I'm a little tight here, but I'm liking it so far. So I think I'm gonna venture and do a little bit of the green just because I feel like it. Because green and blue will play well together. I wish I had my color wheel here. Do I have a color wheel? Let me see what I can grab. Nope, I don't. So green and blue are next to each other on the color wheel, so they're not opposites. So I think this will play okay. The orange was a little out there in my other experiment, so let's just get a little bit of this too. I don't want a lot of the green, just a bit. We're just playing. Just rolling and playing. Okay. think maybe if I could find an orange, that like the Venetian orange, I could do a little bit of stenciling with that too, but or some other mark making. I love this. I like it a lot better than the other one. Okay, so I'm going to dry this and we'll be right back. Oh, make sure that you don't leave your brushes in the water. Not only is it bad for the bristles, but if you have a wooden handle, it will destroy your brush. Just a little tip I've learned the hard way. I'll be right back. Okay, I want to show you something that's happened here. So I actually sped this up with a heat tool, and I think that created these blooms. So these are called blooms. Or maybe it's when I came back in with more of that turquoise paint, because when the medium that you have on your brush is wetter than the paper, it will cause the water and pigment that's in your brush to push things out, and that's what you get. And sometimes they're desirable. In a thing like this, they are. If you're doing a floral, they're not so, so nice. I love what's happening over here. I think the next time we try that, I'm going to try. I typically paint wet into wet, which gives you that whoosh of paint. The way we did it today is not, I'm not seeing the magic of the watercolor like I normally would, but that's okay. So I'm going to move these out of the way because we are probably done with those. Just getting them off my glass mat here. And so I've got, I need something to put some paint on. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I've got a silicone mat, a piece of silicone mat right here. So let's see if we can slide this under my glass mat here to minimize what I'm using here. Space. Just going to slide that under and then slide it over like that. Okay. Hopefully that's making some sense. And I'm going to see if I can put something hard on there. There we go. My iridescent gold fine. Oh, there we go. So I think we're going to do some stenciling now. So I'm debating. I think I want to use this flower stencil. This is actually one Denise has. I've used this a ton. As you can see, it's very well loved. It has lots of paint on it. But I think we're going to use this and we're going to do a little bit of stenciling. So I'm going to start down here. I don't want to cover up too much of that area. I really love that. I think I'm going to go about there. I'm going to grab another piece of sponge. I got these off of Amazon, and you can just cut them into quarters and just throw them into the water. Unfortunately, I don't have a water pot in here today other than I guess I could throw it in there since we're probably done painting with the watercolor. But if you get it in a quarter like this, it's a lot easier to manage. I'm going to try to slide this under my mat here. There we go. That's better. Okay. Just want you to be able to see. So I think I found this paint. This is a heavy body paint. It's actually Cad Red in artist acrylic, which is pretty much the same thing as Venetian orange. So I'm thinking about trying some of this. I'm going to get some out in case I want to give it a try. It's a very, very thick paint, so I'm not sure. Is it even going to come out? Goodness gracious. This is old paint, so it might be clogged up in there. Let's see if we can push it out. It's not happening. Bummer. I'm going to take a moment and see if I have a different one that we could use. Yeah, I don't have another one, and I think this one is just, it's dried up. It's not coming out. For me, I don't know if I poke something in there, if I can get it to dislodge. So let me try this a second. Let me find something I can poke it with. Yeah, it's dried out in there. Yeah, that's trash. It's not a color that I generally use. I've used it in the past, but that's probably why it's dried out, because I don't use it. Okay, so let's move on. I think we'll go ahead and just come in with some of the blue, and we'll just leave the orange out for the moment. So I'm going to put a little bit of the blue paint on my, actually, I think I want to get a thicker paint. You can totally use this, but it is, it's pretty, I don't know if I have another one. I don't want to I don't want to throw a kink in everything that we're doing, so maybe I should stick with this. I did use this before, but it's a little bit runnier than I like, so we're just going to get some on my mat here. It's pretty liquidy. I'm going to get my sponge here, and I'm just going to tap that edge into it, just like that. And then I'm tapping it off so I don't get too much. Okay. And we're just going to start doing it. Okay. I am covering up that blue. I really don't want to cover up that blue. I think I'm going to go up into this corner first. See if I can preserve that. I really like that, so I'm going to go ahead and go. As I've mentioned, I've gotten pretty spoiled with my artist acrylics, so I'm glad that I just stuck with this craft acrylic, because you can use anything that you have. You don't have to use what I have. I'm just trying to get this, as many of those flowers in here as I can. Might not all be a, you know, a distinct pattern there showing when we're done, but oh, I love it! I don't like what, it got really blurry in there, but it's still really, really cool. Oh my goodness. I think I'll flip this around and just do a little bit of this down here in this this other corner. I just want to preserve a little bit of that cool pattern that we got there. So here we go. And I don't know, so when I stencil, I don't rub, she rubs, but she seems to get good results, so I thought I would try it, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. Jury's still out. Jury's still out, and that just moved. Bummer. It's okay. Perfection is not at play. We're just having a play. Okay. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so I think we'll do a different stencil on the other one. So how about we try this one? It's pretty bold. Pretty bold. I don't know if I like that. So let's try the circles. So we're going to do the same color. I'm going to go in here. I probably have the spring green. Maybe we'll do the spring green in the artist acrylic for some other accents. So I'm going to just do a little bit of these circles. Oh, that's cool. But I can tell that the paint is going under the stencil because we're getting kind of a ring around it, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I'm going to try dabbing instead and see if I get a different result, because I'm not liking that. I'm trying to keep that clear of that flower so that I don't mess it up. Oh, I like that better. I think the dabbing is the answer. The dabbing is the answer. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more here. Hopefully I didn't just destroy what's on the left side. I prefer a thicker paint, so this is definitely a challenge for me. That is really lovely though. I like how it looks different on each of those colors. So I'm going to throw that in that water. Go ahead and sink. Get yourself wet. Have a little bath. Let me hold this up for you just so you can get an idea of what's happening here. So this is the side where I rubbed, and I think that's why we're getting some darker stuff in between some of those petals versus over here where we just dabbed. We dabbed here and we dabbed here. So, and then this looks okay though, and I love that we were able to retain that blue. That's what I was going for. So let's see, what else do we want to do today? Probably need to wipe this stencil off. Take care of your stencils and they'll last forever. Don't do as I do. I do not take good care of my stencils. So I feel like I want some gold. I'm trying to figure out, this is a metallic pin. I think it was free with something that I bought. So I'm going to reach for some acrylic markers or some Posca pins really quick. So I actually got these from one of my kids, I think for Christmas last year or my birthday, and I haven't really used them. They are a paint pen. So we have a gold and a silver. So thinking we might try some stuff with this. So this is one of those where you have to kind of tap, tap, tap it until the paint comes to the tip. Come on. There. I don't know if it looks very gold though. Does it look gold? It does on my finger. Okay. So, what do we want to do? I feel like we need to dry this before we go on, so give me just a quick minute. Okay, we are going to come in with some gold. So I'm going to remove this closer so you can see a little bit more what I'm doing. I'm struggling with this arm, as I've mentioned 100 times. So there we go. I don't want you to see my lap. So I'm just going to start making some marks. I'm going to kind of go around some of these things. So I'm just going to no idea what I'm doing, just doing. But I like this natural edge that we're getting from that stencil. I think that's really pretty. And how about we come up here and we do some dots in there. Kind of like that. We're just playing, guys. It's not a masterpiece. This is new to me, just as it's probably new for you guys, so let's just play and celebrate the play. I think I'm going to look up just like what kind of marks do people make when they do this kind of work? Like what is mark making? How do you do it? I mean, I think we're doing okay, to be honest. So let's see what else we can do here. I think we need to do something over here. These pens are pretty cool. They're an acrylic pen. I think I got them for my birthday last year. My birthday's coming again. They've been in a drawer, don't you know? Let's see. I think I'm gonna bring in some black and white. So I'm just gonna make some, not that, well, this was pretty cool though. This was that pen that we did that, and I think that's really awesome. Since we're not gonna be putting any more wet medium on top, I think I'm gonna play with this. So I think I'm just going to make some X's. Not feeling very fond of that, but we're just playing. What else can we do? We gotta bring these marks somewhere else though, otherwise it'll look weird. So I'm just gonna These are a little bit thinner than I would have liked, but we're going to keep on going. It's just doodling. Don't, you know, worry about the rules. There are no rules. And that's something that I have to tell myself a lot, especially if I'm experimenting with something I've never done before. I get really caught up in rules and the way it should be and whatnot. So I'm loving this though. Another thing that she does is she'll do big round circles, but we've got paint on here, so I don't know how this is going to go. So I'm just going to play here. Oh, kind of cool. Again, we're just playing. That is cool. Awesome. Okay, now we need to do some work on this one. So let's go in on this one with some of the Uniball Signal Black. Let's see what we can have happen there. Could also come in with this darker one. This is a darker, let's try that. Let's get some more darker color here. It's really cool. A little bit of scribbling. Just something fun, you know? Just something fun. Pretend that we did a circle there. So how about we do some hearts over here? Why not? Let's do some heart patterns. So I think I'll come in here. Again, we're just playing. You could also use a stencil to do your doodling. So, for instance, let me show you this one. Let me finish that. Where is that tick mark one? This one here. You could use something like this and go in and make some of your lines. So you could go again, don't judge me, guys. This is just play. We're just playing. Saying that as much for me as for you. So you don't want things to kind of be in a straight line though, that's boring. So I'm going to kind of come out a little bit farther as we go down. Not sure how I feel about that, but it's doodling, it's playing. So that's something you could also do. I think I actually want to color those in, have them be a little bit darker. Kind of cool. So I think I want to come in with a little bit more. We need to do a little bit more here, so I'm going to put some more hearts up here, and maybe and then we're going to do a little bit of white, and then we're going to be done. I don't want to keep you guys too long. So you can also kind of come around shapes like this and go, well, there's not a lot of defined shapes over there for some reason. I am going to go darker with these tick marks. I'm not liking that really faint color there. And so you can also go in with white, so we're going to do that here in a second. I will watch more of Denise Love. I will link her below in the description box. She's fantastic. She's fun to listen to. I love her. Let's accentuate those X's too. I definitely like the thicker line. Okay. So let's do some white, because white and black are they're, what do they call that? They're contrasting. They're contrasting to whatever you're putting in your project. So I don't know if that stays wet. Doesn't look like it. So you could go around some of these with white. Not super, you know, specific or neat and tidy, just rough outline. You could also do stamping on this. Maybe we'll do some stamping next time. We'll create one of these little backgrounds and we'll do, oh, that's really cool. I love that. I love that. Let's do some hearts. I love the Uniball Signal pens. That's a little bit wet because I just did it. It's okay, we're just playing. But they're very smooth. They're very, a lot of times a white pen will stop working midway through a project or through a, you know, an action, and it's very frustrating. But these don't do that. So very, very cool. See how I'm not going, you know, necessarily neatly around them, just getting the overall shape. And what else can we do over here? Let's do some circles. Just to play. Love that. Let's go into these circles as well. This pen writes really smooth too. And we're going to avoid the ones that are in black and just kind of go around them. So I will do some more research before we come back and do another one of these. I love this side. This side not so much. It needs more than I've done. I might play around with it a little bit more before I do any before I do the photos. So I'm gonna just sketch a white line in here just for the heck of it. Probably not gonna like that, but that's okay. So we're gonna take the tape off of this. Well, I probably shouldn't do that because I'm going to work some more on this one. But so that's it for today, guys. This is our play, and it was fun. I think I would have preferred staying away from the gold in this very first go around and playing more with the black and white. But you don't know until you try, and I love how it looks. But I'm going to keep fiddling with it, and I'll take the tape off, and you'll be able to see what they look like in the final pictures at the end of the video. So thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.